Why did you want to write for One More Day?
Well, after The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, I began to meet a lot of readers who said, well, I really like that idea where he meets these people in heaven, but boy, what I wouldn't give for one more day here on earth with such and such. And I began to notice a lot of them were about parents. You know, I think we take a lot of baggage and we don't take care of it while our parents are here. We always think they're going to be around forever, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and we didn't apologize, or we didn't get something explained, we didn't get the coleslaw recipe, whatever the case was. And so I thought, well, that might be an interesting idea. What if you actually got that day back? How would you spend it? What would you do? And that became the kernel of For One More Day.
If you could spend one more day with someone, who would it be?
Oh, there are a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Maury again, for sure. I'd like to see my Uncle Eddie, who I based The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and I had an uncle who died when he was very young, and I didn't really say the right words to him, I don't think, when he passed away. So I think there's a lot of people. But that's the whole idea of the book, that, you know, if you get that day, do you use it to, you know, apologize or explain? And maybe if you have those days now, you ought to use them to do that now and not wait until you have to pine for a day that you can't have.
Yeah.
My honors thesis was actually entitled, and I kid you not, Football, Its Role in Society, which is still the seminal work on that topic, I want you to know. Maybe the only one. But more important, it gave me a chance to visit with Maury, to sit with him, to walk around campus with him, to have discussions about the meaning of life. And I found, much to my delight, that Maury was as much of a slob when it came to eating as I was, and he used to talk with all these great ideas and this great energy and enthusiasm, but he forgot to chew while he was in the middle of lunch. And I remember he used to eat these egg salad sandwiches, and I just have these visions whenever I think of these little yellow pieces going bing, bing, bing. And when you would sit across from him, it would be like, but it was endearing, and I cared for this man and admired him in a way that I never did with any other teacher in my life. If you spend all day working, if you spend all day counting the zeros at the end of your paycheck, you spend all day trying to build a stock portfolio, or all day in front of the makeup mirror or the gym trying to buff up, if you spend all day on you and you and you and you, then when you're dead, you better prepare to be really dead. Because your money, they'll fight over, they always do. Your beautiful body is going to rot in the ground. Your huge list of accomplishments will pale in comparison to somebody else's. But that one thing that you had that made you uniquely different than everyone else on the planet, your voice, you didn't spend any time giving away. You were too busy, like I was too busy in that car on that cell phone. So if you really want to cheat death, you really want to put your chips on immortality, it isn't by building a huge bank account. It isn't by putting your name on some building somewhere. It's in every little moment that you share of yourself with somebody else. All those times you might be on the phone with a friend or your sister or your brother, and they're talking, chewing your ear off, and, you know, yeah, I'm helping you, okay. And finally when you hang up, you go, oh, if I had that hour back, I really could do something. You are doing something. You're giving of yourself to other people. You're ensuring your own immortality. Why am I talking to you? I am not in the insurance business. I am not going to increase your sales. None of you knew Maury. He was not in your business, and he wasn't going to increase your sales. But he touched me, and I wrote a book that touched somebody else, that got passed on to somebody else, and suddenly there's a room full of people listening to the wisdom of an old professor who was never on the Forbes 500 list, never made 6 figures, never achieved international fame. So if you really want to put together that little policy for a good life, a meaningful life, a full life, it's going to be in every little moment that you share your heart with somebody else.